change the password. We'll sing Vaishnav song, Koda Nitai. How does it start? How does it start? Huh? Boro Sukir Ka. It's coming, huh? Oh, I don't have, I think. Is there? No, no? No. Maybe you can open in your mobile scrollers. That is best. Boro suker ka borga, boro suker ka borga. Boro suker ka borga, boro suker ka borga. Surabi kunje te namer hat kuleche. Loudly. Surabi kunje te namer hat kuleche. Koda nitai, koda nitai. Boro mazar katata, boro mazar katata. श्रद्धा मूले शुद्ध नाम से हटे ते विकार। कोड़ा निताय, कोड़ा निताय। जत भक्त वृंदावासी, जत भक्त वृंदावासी। अधिकारी देखे नाम बेचे दरो काशी। कोड़ा निताय, कोड़ा निताय। यदि नाम किंबे बाय, यदि नाम किंबे बाय। आमर संगे चलो महाजनेर का चोचा। कोड़ा निताय, कोड़ा निताय। तुमी किंबे कृष्ण नाम, तुमी किंबे कृष्ण नाम। दस्तुरीलो इबो आमी पूर्ण बेका कोडानिताय 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 बड़ो दयाल नित्यानंद बड़ो दयाल नित्यानंद शब्द मात्र लोई देन परमानंद कोडानिताय 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 एक बार देख ले चक्षे जल एक बार देख ले चक्षे जल गौर बोले निताय देन सकल संभाव गौर बोले निताय देन सकल संभाव सकल संभाव कोडानिताय 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 धेनु शुद्ध कृष्ण शिक्षा धेनु शुद्ध कृष्ण शिक्षा जाति धन विद्या बल ना कोरे अपेक्षा जाति धन विद्या बल ना कोरे अपेक्षा ना कोरे अपेक्षा कोडानिताय 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 हमन चाड़े माया जाल हमनी चाड़े माया जाल गृह टाको आने टाको ना टाके जंजाल गृह टाको आने टाको ना टाके जंजाल कोडानिताय 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 और नहीं को कलेर बोय 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 आचंडाले देन नाम निताय दयामो आचंडाले देन मो निताय दयामो देन नाम निताय दयामो कोडानिताय 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 भक्ति विनो डाकी को भक्ति विनो डाकी को नीता चरण बिना और नहीं आश्रय। हे नीता चरण बिना नहीं आश्रय। हे कोरा निताय कोरा निताय कोरा निताय। हे कोरा निताय कोरा निताय कोरा निताय। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। लवले हरिवो। हे हरे राम राम हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे राम राम हरे। हे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। निताय चैतन्य जय निताय चैतन्य। निताय चैतन्य जय निताय चैतन्य। निताय चैतन्य जय निताय चैतन्य। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय भक्त वृंदा। जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा, सुभद्रा माई जय सुदर्शना। जय गौरांगी बेंगलोरेश्वर गौरांगी बेंगलोरेश्वर गौरांगी बेंगलोरेश्वर गौरांगी। जय सीताराम हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले, स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं, श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, we are reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, text 31. You able to see? कृष्ण सूर्य समा माया होय अंधकार, यहाँ कृष्णतः नहीं माया अधिकार। कृष्ण सूर्य समा माया होय अंधकार, यहाँ कृष्णतः नहीं माया अधिकार। कृष्ण सूर्य सम माया होय अंधकार, यहाँ कृष्णतः नहीं माया अधिकार। कृष्ण सूर्य सम माया होय अंधकार, यहाँ कृष्णतः नहीं माया अधिकार। कृष्ण सूर्य सम माया होय अंधकार, यहाँ कृष्णतः नहीं माया अधिकार। कृष्ण सूर्य सम माया होय अंधकार, यहाँ कृष्णतः नहीं माया अधिकार। माता जी, कृष्ण सूर्य सम माया होय अंधकार, यहाँ कृष्णतः नहीं माया अधिकार। Synonyms: Krishna, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Surya Sama, like the sun planet. Maya, the illusory energy. Hai, is, Andhakar, darkness. Yaha Krishna, wherever there is Krishna. Taha, there. Nahi, not. Mayara, of Maya, or the darkness of illusion. Adhikar, the jurisdiction. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of external energy will immediately vanish. Purport by His Divine Grace. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 34, it is stated. So this is one of the last Sunday class verse, if you remember. Actually, it's very, very important. Maybe all of you can repeat. Hridayardam yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani Tadvidhyadatmano mayam yata bhaso yata tamah. So this is the third shloka of the Chatushloki Bhagavat. In the last class, His Grace Krupa Mein Gauram Prabhuji, very wonderful attack. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subramanya ki jai. Shri Gaurangi Bangalore Ishwar ki jai. Tai Chaitanya ki jai ho. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection of a real light in the shadows, for in the light there are neither shadows nor reflections. Wherever there is light, there cannot be darkness. When a living entity becomes Krishna conscious, he is immediately relieved of all material lusty desires. So this is the discussion of ours today. How by practicing Krishna consciousness we can be immediately relieved of all material lusty desires. So who represents the lust, anger and greed? Ravana. So that is the relation for our discussion today of Ramachandra Vijayotsav. Lusty desires and greed are associated with rajas and tamas, passion and darkness. When one becomes Krishna conscious, the modes of passion and darkness immediately vanish, and then the mode of goodness, sattva guna, remains. When one is situated in the mode of goodness, he can make spiritual advancement and understand things clearly. This position is not possible for everyone. When a person is Krishna conscious, he continuously hears about Krishna, thinks about him, worships him and serves him as a devotee. If he remains in Krishna consciousness in this way, the darkness of Maya certainly will not be able to touch him. Hare Krishna. So first of all, I'd like to take blessings of all the senior Vaishnavas who are sitting here. So because of their association, so in the Ramayana, who represents association? In the Yuddha Kand, Vibhishan. Vibhishan represents association. So Lord Ram, acting as a human being, because of the association of Vibhishan, could fight against Ravana. Could fight against? Oh my God, I think Ravana is hiding somewhere inside. Sound only is not coming. He is hiding behind. He was fighting against. Should tell loudly, because today our whole discussion is about the life and history of Ravana. So what you call is, if you are not encouraged, then Ravana will not be able to understand how the Ravana is sitting inside our heart. So what you call is, when Lord Ram has to kill Ravana, it's by the association of Vibhishan that he could kill. So similarly, there are so many devotees association that because of which able to fight against the demons, which represents the Ravana in the form of lust, anger and greed, what you call is, that's going on. So I beg at their feet to please give their blessings, so that some kind words could be spoken today on this auspicious occasion of Ramachandra Vijayotsav. So in the past series of lectures, what you call, I have been discussing about different sections. So we have discussed till today on different occasions of Ramachandra Vijayotsava, different pastimes. So we have discussed about totally there are 7 kandas in Ramayana. Anybody knows? What are the names of 7 kandas? So first one is Balakanda, where the whole discussion, so that discussion is done. Then second we have Ayodhya Kanda, so where Lord Ramachandra gets married to Mother Sita, and after that, because of the plan of the demigods and the Mantara, what happens? Kaikeyi requested or ordered Dussehra to send away Lord Ram. So the whole separation of Ayodhya from Lord Ram and the Ram Bharat Milap is discussed in which Kanda? The second one, Ayodhya Kanda. And then next third comes Aranya Kanda, where the travel of the whole, what you call Ram, Lakshmana, Sita, and abduction of Mother Sita in the jungle. So that is also is already discussed. Then after that we have Kishkinda Kanda, where the Sugriva and Vali, what happened between them. And then next comes Sundara Kanda, where the glorious activities of Hanuman is described and what are the obstacles that he has to go through and the treaty that happened, and what you call, he goes, fights against Ravana, and brings the message of Lord Ram to Mother Sita, and what you call is he takes back the message, burning Lanka. So that has also been discussed. And after that comes Yuddha Kanda, so which is very, very important. So today Yuddha Kanda also we have discussed to some extent. So today we will be seeing the importance, very much importance of Ramachandra Vijayotsav, that is Lord Ramachandra killing Ravana. So we'll be discussing about that. So first of all, we should recognize such wonderful occasions of these festivals, right? So if you see Vaishnava calendar, as I have been saying, how so many festivals we get to celebrate in our Vaishnava Sampradaya, correct na? So what you call is coming ahead after few days is the celebration of not 1 day or 2 days. It is the celebration of whole month, and that is Kartik month, the lighting of lamps. And in the just what you call past, we just what you call is celebrated the festival of Radhastami, and then what you call we also had the occasion of many wonderful, like we had the occasion of Srila Prabhupada going to USA, and just before that also we celebrated wonderful. So if you see the whole calendar, right, the whole calendar is like an altar. It's like an altar of time, right? So we have the altar, and we have such wonderful darshan of the lordships. So we have the darshan of lordships on every day, but on special occasions we have special darshan of the lordships. Like today, we have the special darshan of the lordship. So similarly, in the altar of time, there is the special occasions where the Lord gives the special darshan in this altar of time through the festivals. Through the festivals. So the same Lord Krishna, in the form of such wonderful occasions as these festivals and the appearance and disappearances of the acharyas, the Lord gives special darshan to all of us through his festivals or such kind of occasions. So it is we who have to take the benefit of such wonderful time that is given to us, because Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Kalosmyaham Bharata Rishabha. Kalosmyaham Bharata Rishabha. Yeah. So understanding that, so let us now, what you call is go back into the time, since we are going to discuss about Ravana very, very exclusively today, because we all know in Ishopanishad where it is said in the verse, as much we try to understand about the Supreme Lord, we also have to try to understand about Maya. It's very, very important. And that's why we find in Bhagavad Gita that as soon as Lord speaks about Bhakti in the middle 6 chapters, what does he speak next? How Maya is. Jnana Yoga. Correct? Now how the whole material world works or the runs. So it is very, very important to understand the negative side of the, what you call the creation, or how does the Maya work. So as much we understand how he works nicely, or the Maya Devi works very, very extensively, that much we will be able to take precaution or our steps in the path of bhakti. Hai na? So we will try to see, who is this Ravana and why was he such, he plays the important role in the whole Ramayana. So once upon a time, there was a sage called as Pulatsya Muni. So this sage was born to Brahma. Hai na? So if you see what you call is all the children of Brahma were very much involved themselves in doing austerities and penances. So this same Pulatsya Muni, to want to perform his tapasya, had gone to the mountain called as Mount Meru. So there in the Mount Meru, he wanted to do, so much of, severe austerities. But the same mountain where Pulasya Muni wanted to perform the tapasya, the same mountain was the resort for Apsaras and demigods. So usually, the same story from where the whole, discussions began, where one of the sages performing and, the demigods come and disturb. So the demigods who were present there along with the Apsaras used to come to this Mount Meru and do their leelas. So this Pulasya Muni, became so angry, making all these sounds, creating all those atmosphere. He said, if anyone falls into my vision when I am performing tapasya, they will be cursed into, to get a result which will be very, very bad. It will have very, very wrong or bad consequences. So hearing this, the sharp of this Pulasya Muni, all the demigods and apsaras, they went back. But in the same Mount Meru, there was living another sage called as Trinabindu sage. What was his name? Trinabindu. So this, Trinabindu sage was also living on the mountain of this Mount Meru, and he had a daughter. So this daughter of, Trinabindu sage was also very, very, beautiful and attractive, but she did not hear or get to know the curse that this Pulasya Muni had. So one day this Pulasya Muni was doing tapasya and she was, wandering nearby. And seeing this, Pulasya Muni became very angry. And what did he do? He just looked at her. And when he looked at her, the shapa that was there, transferred to her. She got. And suddenly, as soon as that shapa came upon her, she started feeling something different change, in her body. And actually she had become pregnant just because of that curse. So when she became pregnant, she thought, what has happened to me? What has happened to me? Why my body is getting changed? So she ran to the house to meet his father by the name Trinabindu sage. So when Trinabindu sage, saw her, what has happened to you? How come you are completely changed from before and now? So then she said the thing that has happened, that the Pulasya sage has seen me. So now, Trinabindu sat in meditation and understood what has happened. So immediately he took her daughter and went to Pulasya sage. So when he went to the Pulasya sage, he understood the only way that I'll be able to save my daughter is to get her married to this Pulasya. So now, both of them got married, and after the marriage, between the daughter of Trinabindu sage and Pulasya, there, got to born a person by the name called as Vishrava. So a son was born in the name of Vishrava. So this Vishrava, since he is the son of Pulasya, was also being engaged in many severe penances and austerities. And one day, knowing such a sage is present, the another son of Lord Brahma, called as Bharadraj Muni. We know this, right? Bharadwaj, whom Lord Ram also met. So that same Bharadraj Muni also had a daughter called as Deva Varini. What was her name? Deva Varini. See, it is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita that we should not be lazy in understanding the philosophy. Correct? No? There is a verse there, What does it tell? Siddhanta boliya chitte nakara alas. So devotee should try to remember these names, effort. Otherwise, there is no need of mentioning, all these names in the scriptures. So at the end, I will ask questions, to tell the categories, who is born to whom and all. So please, devotees can remember, because what you call it's related to Ramayana. So this Deva Varini and Vishrava, both of them got married. Okay, and what you call is, because of this, there took the birth of the most important demigod among all the demigods, by the name called as Vaishravana. His name is Vaishravana. And just to make it easier, this Vaishravana is the one who becomes Kuvera. Okay? This Vaishravana is the one who becomes Kuvera, born to Devavarni with Vaishrava, and that Vaishrava is the son of Pulasya and daughter of Trinabindu sage. Okay, na? And that is the whole connection. So now what you call is, when this Vaishravana was born, since his grandfather is Pulasya and his father is Vishrava, was very very austere in his activities. So he also went to jungle and started to perform lot of severe austerities. And because of these severe austerities being performed, Lord Brahma appeared to him. And Lord Brahma asked, "Oh my dear child, what boon do you want?" And then this Vaishravana asked the boon from Brahma to please make him one of the associates of the demigods. And not only the associates of demigods, he also wanted to play the role of one of the important protectors of this world. And understanding this, Brahma gave him the boon that since you were born in such a lineage, you will be called as Kuvera. And not only that, you will be the treasurer of all the demigods to take care. So when he got all these things, he became very very happy. So now what you call is, the Kuvera was going on, and Brahma, along with giving this boon, he also gave one of the very very notable and something amazing gift to this Vaishravana, and that is it's very very important object in the whole Ramayana. What is the what you call carrier that Kuvera had? That is Pushpaka Vimana. So that Pushpaka Vimana was given to this Vaishravana by Lord Brahma because of his tapasya, because he was born to the parents of Vaishrava and Devavarni, and that Vaishrava was the son of Pulasya and Trinabindu sage, and this Devavarni is the daughter of Bharadwaj Muni. Jai. Devotees will be able to remember. Very tough nowadays to remember this. So I have struggled to remember this. So some struggle has to be there on the other side. Then my struggle is some birth. So now what you call is, this Vaishravana became the demigod, but he did not had a place to stay. So then he asked to his grandfather, who is Pulasam directly chale gaye. Who is Vishrav, है ना? Who is Vishrav? So he asked to Vishrav, the Pulasya Muni, that what you call is, I don't have place to stay. Can you please give me a place to stay? So that time what had happened was, long time again before, the Rakshasa of this, what you call in this world, if in the third canto, for the Brahma, demigod also took birth, and from the backside of Brahma, who took birth? All the Rakshasas, ghosts, hoblings, goblins, all those, Brahma Rakshasas, whoever are there, all of them, they all took from the birth from the backside. So they were residing in a place called as Sri Lanka. So this place, when all of them were staying, they went on to become so strong that they started to challenge Lord Vishnu, or the demigods. So they challenged demigods, and in turn to Lord Vishnu, and demigods prayed to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu fought with all of these Rakshasas and sent them to the lower planetary systems. And now that whole place of this Sri Lanka, what was there was actually made from the gold by our, what is his name, architect of the demigod, Vishwakarma. So this Vishwakarma had constructed this whole Sri Lanka with gold, and not only with gold, many other wonderful things. So now what you call is, Kuvera is staying in Lanka, and all the Rakshasas are down. So now from where in all between this, who takes birth? Ravana takes birth. Correct, no? That's the question. So now Ravana takes birth. That's the mystery now. What happened? So now we all know one point that maybe what you call is the father of Ravana was a demigod and his wife was Rakshasi. So both of them, this Ravana took birth. That much we know. So how is it? What happened? So among these Rakshasas, there was a king of all the Rakshasas called as Sumali. What was his name? Sumali. So this Sumali, once he wanted to see what is going on in the earthly planet, in the Bhuloka, what is happening. So he came one day. And when he came one day and he was seeing, he saw one very, very attractive person sitting on this very, very amusing Vimana was going on the top. And when he saw, he was, just amazed, my God, what kind of person is this? And that was Kuvera. So he thought, what kind of person is this? Who are his parents from whom, such a noble person has taken birth and he has such opulences. Maybe if only I can get my daughter married to his father, I will also get son like this, Vaishrava. So then what happened is he found out who the father was, and that was Vishrava. So he took his daughter to Vishrava, and Vishrava was performing, lot of tapasya in the jungle, in the midst of jungle. So he had a daughter by the name Kaikashi. Sumali had a daughter by the name Kaikashi. So Kaikashi also was very, very beautiful and attractive. So when this Vishrava was performing tapasya in the jungle, what happens is this Kaikashi starts walking in the jungle. So again, the same story. What happened to Pulasya. So she comes and what you call is this Vishrava gets disturbed and he opens his eyes and then there he sees Kaikashi. And as soon as Kaikashi sees this Vishrava, she proposes asking, "Oh Vishrava, I want to get married to you." Married to you. So that time, what you call is Vishrava becomes, what you call is attracted, but at the same time he starts to, what you call feel himself very, very moroseful. Because he tells, to this Kaikashi, "Kaikashi, I understood that, you really wanted to get married with me. But what is it that you asked me to get married and give birth to a child in such a wrong, bad, auspicious time? You should have not done like this." So just because in that time, where the whole situation or the, what you call the arrangement of the grahas was in a very, very wrong scenario, she asked, "Give me the son who is going to take birth now is going to be very, very demoniac. Is going to be very, very, this one." So you see how much, the value of time was there in the past, that even to, tell, "Please give me a child," if it is in the wrong time, then gone case. And nowadays, though, my God, what you call is nobody knows, what, when and all. It is said in Europe, many children are born on the neck of the wine bottle in the dark. You understood? Many children are born on the neck of the bottle in the dark of bar and restaurants in the European countries. They don't know what time, is the conceive, what time not to conceive. It's all, thinking that as a enjoyment, or that as, just a tool for enjoyment, not understanding what can. That's why if you see now whole world, so much chaos everywhere. So much chaos because nobody knows the samskaras. Nobody knows the, what you call it, what are the things that they need to follow and what are the things that that they have to not follow as such. So now what happened is, this Vishrava, along with, the daughter of Sumali, that is Kaikashi, what you call is, they engaged in the family life. And when they were engaged in the family life, after she got to know that such kind of bad son is going to take birth, so they started to do tapasya to, beg from his grandfather. Who is his grandfather? Pulasya. Sorry, not grandfather, father. That is Pulasya. So they went and asked, "Please help us to get saved from this situation." So that time when they prayed, for the better son, the father said, "I cannot, take away this. So I am going to give a benediction that your third son, who is going to take birth, will be very, very noble and very, very, devoted son. And that was Vibhishan. So now, what you call is, when all these things was happening, what happened is, the time came when, she begot the first son. And when she begot the first son, the characteristics are given, what all the characteristics this first son had. So when the first son took birth, it was so weird to see such a child taking birth, because when this son came out, he had how many hands? 20 hands. 10 left side and 10 right side, because one had 2 hands. So 20 hands means how many heads? 10 heads. So this son had 10 heads. And usually when children take birth, what do? They cry tears. But when this, fellow was taken birth, there was, shouting, brawling, we call it as, brawling means donkeys. They bark like, donkeys, if you have seen. So he was making that kind of sound. And everyone got weird. Arey, baapre, what kind of fellow has taken birth, Is he a human being or some creature? So not only that, the hairs that he had was like copper wire. And the lips that was there, it was looking like, coppery lips. And not only that, he had such kind of, what you call is the mouth, whatever he was speaking, the flames was coming out of his mouth. And at the end, whatever way he deals with the people, it was filled with cruelty and hate. And what you call is, when people saw this, they thought, what kind of person is this? And seeing this, his name was given as Dashagriva. His name is Dashagriva. So Dashagriva means the one who has 10 heads. And this was done. This is with the first son. The second son was much, much more horrible. So the second son was born, also had all wonderful characteristics what the first son had. Most of them matched. And upon that, as soon as the second child took birth, within a fraction of moments, he became so big. If he has to eat something in one hand, he could eat 20 chapatis. Maybe chapatis look a bit old, rather the description is given. When he ate at once, he could eat 20 elephants. One mushti, 20 elephants is eating inside. And people got worried, what kind of fellow is this, he is eating, elephants in one go. Within moments, 20 elephants. So became too horrible. And his name was given as Kumbha Karna. And after this, the third child took birth. And we may think, third child may be wonderful child. And this was not son that took birth, and this was rather daughter. And this daughter, when she took birth, was so ugly and so terrible to even take darshan of. Very terrible it was. Ugly, making all the nonsense sounds. And my God, the witch-like teeth, right? The teeth like, witch, and crawling, give me blood, give me that, this. So ugly. And her name was given as Shurpanaka. So usually when all these 3 children took birth, there was a lot of omens happening in the atmosphere. The thunder was, happening, the stones were falling from the mountains. And not only that, the foxes in the jungle were, shouting. Right, how foxes, right, how they shout? How do they shout? Ooh, all those, So if somebody takes birth and that kind of sound is happening, it is understood that some demon has taken birth. So all that was happening. So now when the fourth son took birth, or the fourth child took birth, and that is the third son. So there was lot of wonderful auspicious omens that the flowers were falling from the sky. The flowers were falling from the sky. All the demigods were showering flowers, into the sky. And that was the birth of the most noble person, and that is Vibhishan. So now, all these children have taken birth, and they are present in the family of Vishra, to the wife of Kaikashi. Right? And the same Vishra has another wife by the name Devavarini. Who has the son? Kubera. So once what happened is, now what you call, usually say when there are 2 wives, there will be some, as we see in Bhagavatam 4th canto, what you call is, we have our Uttanapad, who has Suruchi and Suniti. So some kind of this. Same thing happened here. So what happened was, Vishrava was staying with all these people in Sri Lanka, and there comes this Devavarini. And when this Devavarini comes with her son in the Pushpaka Vimana, some kujali happened in the heart of Kaikashi. And she thought, my God, what kind of opulence, these people have. So suddenly she tells, Beta, Ajao. And who comes there? Ravana. I know, he'll come in the picture there. So it tells, you see your son there, you see your brother there, what kind of opulence you have. And you see yourself, what kind of, ugly looking, nobody wants to be with you. And see the opulence that this, your brother has. The opulence, in case if you have to have, should have like this. Go and do some tapasya, so that you can get some benedictions like this. So now, what you call this Ravana, this Dashagriva, along with all the other three, they go for performing austerities in the forest. So when they go there performing austerities in the forest, they went on to become so much of, austerities, that, what you call is the second son, Kumbhakarna, was standing on one leg and he was praying to Lord Brahma. So for many thousands of years, he was performing, tapasya like this. Vibhishan also is performing. Shurpanaka is also performing. So when Brahma was appearing to each one of them, they were asking their benedictions. And among all this tapasya, this one person's tapasya was extraordinary. And that was Ravana's tapasya. Because every, for 1,000 years of tapasya that he was doing, he was cutting one of his head and putting ahuti. And second 1,000 years, second head, third head. So for 9,000 years he was cutting one head and putting in ahuti to please Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma thinking, my God, such ugly worship these fellows are doing, to please me. And the time came in the 10,000 year where he was about to chop off the 10th head. And when he was about to put, Brahma tells her, stop, what do you want to ask me? I'll give you. So that time when he asks, he tells, I want to become immortal. I don't want to have any death. And whichever direction I see, I want to conquer over that direction. So please give me all this benediction. Brahma tells, you fellow, I only don't have immortality. How can I give you immortality? Ask for something else. I want to go faster. So usually if you see the Brahma or Shiva or Vishnu, when the time they spend with, all these Rakshasas is very, very short. That's why Lord Shiva has Ashutosh, means you ask, he gives and goes off. Have you seen any time, what you call Brahma or Shiva, spending time with all these Rakshasas and telling, how are you doing, what you are doing, please offer me praise. Have you seen any time? Impossible, never you will see. We see this, what is his name? Bhasmasur, he gave and pushed off. Correct, na? So usually when we ask, benedictions of material from the demigods, they don't want to spend time with us. Rather, you see in Bhagavatam, Prithu Maharaj. When Prithu Maharaj, Vishnu was pleased with Prithu Maharaj, it is mentioned that Lord Vishnu could not stay on the ground. Usually Lord Vishnu does not come down on the earth from the back of Garuda. So when Lord Vishnu got down for the first time, he was not able to properly stand there because of the ecstasy that the Lord was feeling because of the devotion of Prithu Maharaj. So rather he took the support of Garuda to stand, my God, he's praying so much, I'm not able to stand. So that is, the difference between the austerity of this one. So we see austerities being performed by all of them, and we also see the austerities performed by the great devotees. Like, we have Dhruva Maharaj. So if you see, the austerities is same, but the goal, what they want to achieve is different. So similarly, we cannot tell, Rakshasa are engaging in tapasya, so as a devotees we should not engage in tapasya. We cannot make that statement. Rather, devotees, we also have to do tapasya. But the goal that what I want to achieve from performing that tapasya has to be clear. So what should be the goal? To please Lord Vishnu. Or it should somehow or other should be oriented towards Lord Vishnu. But these three fellows are doing tapasya. 4 of them are doing tapasya for what? Against Lord Vishnu, to kill Lord Vishnu rather. Correct, na? So what happened is, all of them were performing. So this Sumali had said to Ravana somehow or other, if you conquer, these fellows have taken away our land, that is Sri Lanka. So if only we can reclaim it back, we can be most powerful. So when they tell, what happens is, they get all the benedictions. So Kumbhakarna, he wanted to ask benediction, perform tapasya. So before going for tapasya, only he was devouring all the demigods. Because so powerful he was. So what happened is, this Kumbhakarna, when he wanted to ask Brahma, for the benediction, all the demigods from the background behind the trees called Brahma, 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 we want to talk for you for a few seconds. Please come here. We want to have immediate conference. Please come. And Brahma asked, what? See, if you give him benedictions, we are gone only. So somehow or other you need to protect us. So that time, when this Kumbhakarna was asking benediction, what happened is Brahma remembered his wife, and that is Saraswati. So Saraswati, what you call, when Kumbhakarna wanted to ask benediction without the knowledge of Kumbhakarna, what happened? Saraswati went and sat on the tongue of this Kumbhakarna. So Brahma, was offering praise, and when Brahma asked, when Kumbhakarna was offering praise, Brahma asked, what do you want? So suddenly Saraswati went and sat on the tongue and said, please, make me to go to sleep. Asked the boon. Please, I want to sleep for long time. So as soon as, what you call is, that was spoken from the mouth, so Brahma said, Tathastu, and disappeared from there. And, Kumbhakarna becomes, awakened. What did I ask? Did I ask? I mean, he was wanting to ask, wanted to think even, but what happened? Because already he has got the boon to go to sleep. So he was feeling little bit of sleepy also. Because he was, thinking like that. So he thought, my God, what did I ask? And he fell asleep there only. So this happened to her. So when all these three happened, what happened is, this Ravana goes and attacks Kuvera, because Kuvera asked his father, what should I do? This fellow is horrible, you run away from here. So that time Ravana attacks the whole Sri Lanka and steals the Pushpaka Vimana that this Kuvera had, and he runs away from here. So now, what you call is, this Ravana, what is being mentioned in the Ramayana is very, very important to be discussed. So we see in Ramayana, Ravana, what you call is, was such a heinous, what you call fellow he was, that he represents lust, anger, greed. And we see what is the result of developing lust, anger, greed in Bhagavad Gita. So it's mentioned in verse number, Bhagavad Gita, 16 chapter, 21st verse. Yeah, please repeat this verse. Trividam narakaseidam dvaram nashanam atmanah kama krodha tata lobhas tasmadetattrayam tyaje. So Krishna is telling here, there are three gates leading to this hell. And what are they? Lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man means some fellow who has some intelligence, some buddhi, some person who has some intelligence. So every sane man should give this up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. And Prabhupada also speaks, this is verse by verse. So Prabhupada speaks in this verse, that's very important to get rid of these three. So now if you see the whole Ramayana, right? So it is about how to conquer over these three, anarthas that are there in our heart. So in day to day of our life, every day and every day and out, we face the challenge of attack of these three enemies in our life, right? So much of, battle that happens between us and these three enemies. So how many of you feel that, this lust, anger and greed, somehow or other, they catch us and do not allow us to progress in bhakti? Haribol. Correct or not? So we have to find a way how to get escape of all these things. So we discussed, in the past classes, that how Hanuman took the message, Mother Sita is there, and went to Kishkinda and said to Lord Ram, found Sita I. So when he concluded, so now whole, army of Lord Ram with Sugriva is coming to the Rameshwaram. Is coming down to the south, and there they cross the ocean. And we also discussed, the battle that happened there. So now what had happened is, Ravana in the battle with Lord Ram is losing all of his children, all of his, what you call his relatives. Everyone is getting, this one. To the extent he sends even his, closest son, and that is Indrajit. Even Indrajit also goes and starts fighting, but one day, without the knowledge of, Indrajit, who goes there? Lord Ram, Lakshman along with Hanuman, they all go there. And when he's performing this tapasya, because Vibhishan had said, if only, if this yajna becomes successful, it will be impossible to defeat. So then what happens? Lakshman kills Indrajit. So after killing, and this news, was heard to Ravana that your son Indrajit is, killed. It was very much painful to the heart of Ravana. And he tells, the only way now to kill is to awake my brother. And he tells, all of his soldiers, go and awake my brother. And that was Kumbhakarna. And Kumbhakarna was like, so big. It's not like, you need some alarm with full, what you call is sound, you put and he will awake. No. If you have to awake Kumbhakarna, they used to take hundreds of elephants and make them run on his chest with all, trumpet sound. And the chariots also were running, and big gongs were there, and they were beating. And not only that, a mountain full of flesh was kept with, with such a smell that he will wake up, and, what you call is ponds and ponds of blood was kept. So to make him awake. And, still he was not happening, making sound, and at last this Kumbhakarna wakes up. And all the monkeys are hiding from the window and seeing, who is this fellow, he looks like is he a person or a wall, they were trying to analyze. And, what you call is, when they saw, my God, what kind of person is this? So when Kumbhakarna gets up, the soldiers tell, your brother wants to talk with you. And when he goes in front of Ravana explains the whole story. And hearing this story, Kumbhakarna tells, Ravana, why you are so attached to Sita? Give her back. You will be saved. I will also be saved. Why you want this war to happen as such? Ravana tells, no, I want Sita. So in Bhagavad Gita there is a verse, what? Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya parata chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhauna vidiyate. Pakka, it correlates with Ravana mentality. Bhoga Aishwarya prasaktanam. Prasakta means he feels, I cannot give up. So many times, it so happens that these things, if I am attached to it, is going to destroy my, spiritual life. But still, I am attached to it. Actually, in Ramayana itself, Mother Sita tells one story to Lord Ram to instruct him, because Lord Ram was spending so much of time in forest with his bow and arrow. So, Mother Sita is saying, why you are spending, so much, twinkling it, sharpening the arrow? Why? So, only in this one instance, Mother Sita is, trying to tell to Lord Ram what to do, what not to do. So she tells one story to Lord Ram. She tells, once there was a sage in the forest doing, meditation and chanting his rounds. He was doing all those things. So Indra in the heavenly sphere became very much worried. This sage is doing so much of tapasya. My God, if he becomes too powerful, what will happen to me? All my, you may want to come and occupy my post, and my post may go away. So I have to do something so that this sage is not going to earn that credit. So what happened is, Indra in disguise of a Kshatriya comes to the forest, and he comes to the sage and he tells, oh my dear sage, I have some important work to go. Can you please keep this sword with you? He gives the sword of this, own Kshatriya, and he tells, you keep it carefully with you. I'll come back within few hours and I'll take it back. So sage tells, yes, please give the sword. And he takes the sword and keeps it with him. And the king or the Kshatriya goes off. One day passes. He does not come. And Sadhu, the sage is thinking, now my God, I have to go for, bringing radish, carrot, beetroot, mulangi. I have to get all these things, How will I leave this sword and go? Somebody may take and go away. So I need to carry this sword along with me and go, otherwise somebody will steal. So he was taking the sword with him and he was going and taking all the roots and fruits from the forest. And waited for the second day full. But still, the king did not come. Then third day also he goes. And he tells, no sword, you cannot leave and go. So he takes and go. So while removing beetroot and carrot and what you call is radish from the ground, he thinks, I am carrying this. Why don't I use this to remove this beetroot from the ground? So easily it will come out. So he takes the sword and he tries to remove it out. And it comes so nicely. He becomes so happy. Wow, this sword is amazing. So nice it is. So then what happens? I think, and next day he goes. So now he is becoming little bit of expert in using the sword. So just standing and fastly is collecting all the roots and fruits and slowly starts to cut the branches of the trees also in a playing. Sometimes what you call is when we sit on a park and all, you have seen the hands usually doesn't remain quiet. What do? We find, is there some twig there nearby? Is there a grass? You remove, you throw, you put, or put in here. Try to, you understanding? Something or the other, will be going on in the hand, or just keep taking the mobile. I mean, now we don't have parks. Keep seeing, somebody has sent some message or what. Maybe why I'm not getting any call from last 1 hour. What is happening? Is it in flight mode or what? That is there, that is there. So same, this sage was doing all that. And on the 4th day, he was just thinking, what will happen if I take this sword and touch animals? And he took the sword and started touching animals. And he saw, blood is coming from these animals. Slowly, it so happened, he gave up all the meditation. Sitting there on the throne. And what was doing here in the forest? Hunting animals. And thought, my God, what you call. And Indra above is nicely laughing. What you call, the purpose is solved now. Now he's doing so much. So similarly, what happens is many times in our, what you call is life, many times, it comes as what you call as gift, or it comes, with a lot of advantages, or it comes as a help many times, maybe if I have this, I can do better service. I can do much more nice service. But only the time proves no more it is used in service and rest everything else. Correct? How many of you experienced this? Everyone's story. Hey, what you call is in India also people bought the TVs. For what? Watching Ramayana and Mahabharata. But only the time, after some time, they got to know that, they are not watched and rest everything is watched. Correct, na? Or many times we tell, now Hare Krishna television is coming, in the TV. So let me get TV because I have to watch, all those nice selected verses coming from, Hare Krishna TV. So many wonderful classes are happening from different, I will listen to all this. But only time will prove what? We forget the number of the channel of that, Hare Krishna television and remember everything else. So during Prabhupada time, the devotees wanted to bring one machine called as telex. So this machine speciality is what? You can sit in one temple that time, 1970s. You can sit in one temple and call devotees, in the other temple. So that time, they used to use tags or fax. What do they call? Fax. You write 10 words and send that much only. You cannot write any more words than 10 words or 20 words. If you write more words, amount doubles. So they said, Prabhupada, if you bring this telex, it will be very nice. Prabhupada said, you will bring this telex and you will only do prajalpa. You will sit in this temple and call to the other temple and ask Prabhu, how is everything going on there? And you will forget the purpose of using that text. Prabhupada said, no, let us just use letters. And that's why you see, though that was there, Prabhupada only wrote more than 5,000 letters Prabhupada wrote. And to every question that was asked, Prabhupada has written the letter for that. So what you call is, many times things come, but it is used in a wrong way. So why I was telling this? Kumbhakarna. So he tells, why you are holding this mother Sita, give back. But Ravana tells, no, I want it. You have to fight with Lord Ram. And when Kumbhakarna goes in the battle, he's taking monkeys and he's, chewing them. And monkeys, they did not have fear, but seeing this, was too much, where, the monkeys itself are being taken and has been chewed. I thought, my God, what? And they were all running away. So one monkey was, making this joke. So what happened? one monkey was telling to other three monkeys were sitting, all the four monkeys were sitting together. So one monkey was telling to the other three monkeys, once I was, killing that particular demon in the battle, and what you call, I became so angry looking at this demon, looking at this Rakshasa. I took up my sword. All the other monkeys, oh, wow, what did you do after taking out the sword? I jumped off in the air and I cut the legs of, what you call this demon. Then, my God, all the other monkeys were clapping hands. And he said, what else did you do after that? He said, I became much more angry. And I took the sword and cut off the hands of this demon. Then, what you call is all the other monkeys were telling, wow, nice. What else did you do? Then, when I wanted to cut off the head of this Rakshasa, I saw there was no head only for this demon. Means what? That Rakshasa was already dead. So this monkey was trying to chop off the hands and legs of already killed Rakshasa. Other fellows said, other monkeys, already you are killed, what is this? So that was the instance, that was happening. So when this Kumbhakarna was going on, what you call killing, Lord Ram, seeing the four dangers that is coming, he kills Kumbhakarna. That is another story. So now, not bearing this anger, what happens is, Ravana thinks, this is too much. All the reason for the killing of my brothers, children, relatives is who? Mother Sita. So let me kill her. And he goes to kill Sita Devi. So that time, what you call is, what is her name? Mandodari. She tells her, why you are killing her? If you really have some dham, you go and fight against Lord Ram. Why you want to, kill her innocently? It is you who brought her, and why you want to kill her? She is innocent. If only you want to really show your prowess, go and kill Ram. And that time what happens is, Ravana takes his chariot with all his, powers that he had, goes into the battlefield. And now, when he's fighting so vigorously in the battle, what was happening is, Lord Ram is trying to cut off his heads, but again the head is coming back. He tries to cut off the other head again. Lord Ram cuts all the 20 hands, but again all the hands are coming. So it was going on so ferociously. At one point, Ravana takes one astra. Astra's name is, the name of the astra? Shakti Astra. So he takes one of the astra and shoots at Vibhishan, telling that this fellow is the one who is revealing all the secrets of us. So that time, to protect Vibhishan, who comes in between? Lakshman comes in between. And that arrow hits Lakshman. And Lakshman becomes unconscious. And again Lord Ram, weeps tears. What will I tell when I go back to Ayodhya? That that Lakshman gave up his life just for the sake of me and my wife, Mother Sita. So, this is too painful. I am not, as much painful as your separation than the separation from Mother Sita and Ayodhya. Like that, to that extent, Lord Ram tells there in the battlefield when he is there and he is weeping and crying to show, how Lord Ram actually personifies, represents a human being. So that time, the Ayurvedic doctor of the whole, what you call is the Vanaras, his name was, anybody knows his name? Sushena. So he comes and tells, still the heartbeat of Lakshman is there, but a special medicine is required from Himalayan mountains. There is a jadi butti, if somebody can do. So then, what he calls, they turn towards Hanuman. Hanuman jumps in one go. He doesn't find the herb seeds, very difficult. So what he does, he brings whole mountain only he brings. So it tells her, I'm not able to find, So he brings the whole mountain. There is another story also, when he was bringing, one mountain was kept in between in Vrindavan, and that mountain became Govardhan. That story also is there. Apart from Pulasya Muni carrying the mountain, and he became, Arju was so he kept and went, and the mountain stayed, and that became Govardhan. So two stories are there. So now what happened is here, when Lakshman was retrieved, when Lakshman became conscious, Lord Ram became so angry, and now to help Lord Ram comes the chariot from the heavenly planets, rode by the charioteer of Indradev. And when the chariot comes with all the different weapons, and especially with the chariot driver of Indra, So the chariot driver, if I'm not wrong, his name is Matang. Maitali. Matali. So that Matali tells, I have come to assist in your service, please board. So that time Lord Ram bows and starts fighting. So what happens is, how much ever, the heads were being cut, hands were being cut, they were growing back. So that time Lord Ram tells, it's becoming very, very difficult to not able to kill this demon. So that time who comes, to give information is Vibhishan. So Vibhishan comes and tells that the only way this Ravana could be killed is he has nectar in his heart. So unless this nectar is not dried up, what will happen is any part of his body you cut, it will restore. So similarly, if you see the karma in the heart of all the living entities is very difficult to extinguish. Krishna himself tells in Bhagavad Gita of 3rd chapter. What is the verse? Kamaisha Krodhaisha Rajoguna Samudbhava Mahashano Mahapapma Viddhinam Vairinam. Tells Mahashano Mahapapma. We, sometimes we feel, outside people have less lust compared to devotees. This outside they are putting hands, everything, they are going on. They are not feeling anything. For me, I am getting, very much agitated by little bit of this. What is this? Is it, am I becoming more lusty, angry and greedy after coming to Krishna consciousness, or is it decreasing? How many of you felt, sometimes it should happen? Then Krishna consciousness is working. Because you take a water and all the dust has accumulated down. What Krishna consciousness does? It first, stirs the whole water. Then what happens? Initially when the all thing has settled, it looks as if we are a pure devotee. It looked as if, everything is going nice. Hari bol, Gaur Hari bol. 1 year, so nicely is happening. And Krishna also is very good, doing that orchestra, that he makes sure that we get really very good faith in Krishna consciousness, that point. After that starts real show. And, we start feeling, all that laya, Hridaya Daurbalya, all that, whatever the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has very nicely, shown. First this comes, second. 1 year of chanting Hare Krishna, amazing, we are feeling so much of ecstasy. But suddenly, I have also seen in myself and say, others also when they go through Krishna. After 1 year, when they are chanting, unknowingly, these many days was not happening, and suddenly what is happening? Sleep is coming in chanting. Prabhuji, 1 year, so nice it was. Suddenly, when I am chanting, what is happening? I am getting sleep. I don't know how this is happening. You have seen? And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, this is the first step that you have advanced in Krishna consciousness. And that is called as Laya. We tell na? What is that verse? 3rd verse of Bhagavatam? Nigama kalpa toror galitam phalam sukamukad amruta drava samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasam alayam. Means, rasam alayam means if somebody drinks that laya, he becomes so intoxicated, he goes to sleep. That is the meaning of the 3rd verse. So same thing happens here. This side what? Laya comes in picture. So, how is this happening? And we struggle. Somehow, it's not happening. It's not going for years together. So this should go on. So what you call is Lord Ram, was trying to. It did not go only. Ravana was not able to be killed only. So then comes, this Vibhishan telling what has to be done. So Vibhishan is a representation of association of devotees. If we remain alone, ecstasy will go for some time. After that, like say for example, you launch a rocket, very good sound it makes and goes up. Only problem is after going up, it does not burst and that colors, green color, all those colors will not come. It will go up and again, it will come down. So same thing, if you are not an associate. Example in Bhagavatam, Bharat Maharaj. We went, all the way. What are the steps of bhakti? Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivrutti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava. Rocket went, till there. But what happened? It was about to explode in Prema. don't take this literally. Example, tell Prabhuji which Acharya has given this. Please give the reference, Prabhuji. That's about no. So he went there, but what happened? Small deer came there and gone. So many times, what happens is we also go. Provided, if you are not staying in association. If only Bharat Maharaj was in association, what would have happened? Hare Krishna, Bharat Prabhu, what are you doing with this deer? Please, Jeev Jago. Many times our devotees keep that alarm. What is that alarm? Jeev Jago. Wake up to the reality of kitne baar soyenge. Some alarm is there. How many of you heard that alarm? Most of you, I think. My God, sometimes devotees sleep after hearing that alarm. I am wondering, shouting, I don't know which Maharaj is that. Maharaj is literally, Navagendra Swami Maharaj. Maharaj is so much shouting. How come our devotee, just slides it and he goes to sleep. Again, second time also Maharaj shouts, in the mobile. Again, my thought, my God, this is too much, Either, we change the alarm or literally we have to get up as such. Sometimes it happens. So, thing is, we need association of devotees. So, when Vibhishan came and said to Ravana, please wake up, please get up, please use this particular astra. So, this astra, what Lord Ram uses, it is compared to the mercy of Acharyas. The arrow with the Lord Ram. So, you remember there in the forest, Agastya had given a special Agastya, right? Agastya. After Bharadwaj Muni, he goes further. Agastya Muni has given you a special weapon to use for a special purpose. Please use that weapon. And that has its strength because Agastya had poured all his, power into that arrow. So Lord Ram, sees fighting happens, not able to kill, not able to, defeat each other. And at one point, Lord Ram removes this astra and shoots directly into the heart of Ravana. And it goes, making the sound of the thunder. When the arrow was shot, the sound that was coming from the arrow was making the whole earth to tremble. Never ever has heard, the sound that was coming from this arrow. So it goes and pierces in the heart of Ravana and drinks or sucks all the nectar that was present in the Ravana. And, it gets completely dried off. And because it had the special power, it, pierced the body of Ravana, came out and went into the earth, of this world. And seeing this, all the Rakshasas saw the Ravana falling dead on the ground. And when he fall dead, all the Rakshasas were shouting, crying, falling like anything. Oh, Ravana is dead. Oh, Ravana is dead. Oh, Ravana is dead. So now, very, very important to learn. So it happened today only, this. So now, what you call is, Lord Ram is representing us there. The astra that he used represents mercy of Acharyas. Vibhishan is representing association of devotees. And the mantra that he remembered represents Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So similarly, in the life of a sadhaka, all these things has to be taken benefit of. So many times we need to understand, rather Prabhupada very beautifully, tells in the verse number, maybe I'll not go, already I have exceeded 2 minutes, I'll be caught if I go to the purport. So what Prabhupada tells is, in the purport there, which purport I was talking about? Yeah. So in Bhagavad Gita 10.11, Teshan evanu kampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nasheti atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvita. So jnana deepena. So it is mentioned there very beautifully that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, this lust can be deceived. It can be cut off. It is very impossible on our own. If we try karma, jnana, dhyana, siddhi, all these things we may try, but it's impossible to get rid of. Right? You might have seen sometimes there are some organisms, you take small part of that, it again grows into the full species. Correct? There are species like this. I will not tell the examples. You will get confused with the terms. There are planaria. There is an organism called planaria. You take a bit of that piece of that, what happens? It grows. You take a head of the planaria, it goes into full planaria. So similarly in the heart, how much are we try to get rid of this lust, anger and greed, with the other process, still it will come back. Example is Vishwamitra Muni. Example is Vishwamitra Muni, correct? He tried to, for lust, again afterwards again he fell for anger and again for greed, and the only thing that was there at the end was Lord Ram, association. Then he became completely a pure devotee, Raja Rishi. So similarly, as devotees, it's very important for all of us to develop implicit faith on the holy name of the Lord. This is, what you call the only method or the tool in Kali Yuga to ourselves become completely purified. So, telling in essence, what you call is nowadays our movement, has become such a way that the importance to the holy name is reduced to very much extent. Rather, we see the other organizations, I'm just traveling from Tamil Nadu and coming, my God, the other organizations have completely, everywhere. So that missionary spirit is there, in them without having the medicine, without having the tool many times. They even give, all the nonsense to eat, but still, we having real medicine sometimes become, what you call it, shy, or sometimes, take very, very down role to not to represent the holy name. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells that in Kali Yuga, the duty of each and every one who takes to Krishna consciousness is Yara Dekho Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh. So, we have to be having that, missionary spirit, or that, what you call is desire to give the holy name. So we were just, listening to one of the lectures of His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Guru Maharaj, day of yesterday, given in 1982 in Thailand. So Maharaj was telling, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu has come in this Kali Yuga to make the process so easily that this Ravana who is sitting in the heart, in Kali Yuga we don't find Ravana out, rather we find Ravana in Kali Yuga where? In the heart. So it's very difficult to even get to know that Ravana is sitting within the heart. So the only way to get rid of this Ravana in the heart is to use the ultimate weapon, and that is chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So ourselves first we need to chant, very, very, what you call, with implicit faith that this is the only process. And after that, Maharaj was telling there that to the extent we make the people to chant Hare Krishna Mantra, to the extent in Kali Yuga, we make people to develop that implicit faith on the holy name of the Lord. To that extent, one will be able to develop love for Krishna in this Kali Yuga. Otherwise, there is no other separate way on my own, I try to do, to get that holy name of the love for Krishna, impossible. So the only way to develop love for Krishna in Kali Yuga is to make people to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So just ending with pastime, once what happened was, there were, this devotee called as Rasikananda Prabhu. Heard of Rasikananda Prabhu? Is disciple of Shyamananda Pandit, and is known for, roaring chanting of the holy name and making people to chant Hare Krishna mantra. To such an extent, once what happened is they were doing Harinam Sankirtan on the road. And, devotees are chanting, going, chanting, going. The news reached to Muhammadian, whoever the Qazi was there that time in that place. He got to know, hey, devotees are doing Kirtan. So they wanted to stop devotees to chant Hare Krishna mantra. So what happened is, the Muslims came there, those people, the Mohammedans, they came there, and to spoil, devotees were doing circle, dancing. So to spoil that, they wanted to create some bad omen, some bad, kind of thing. So what they did was, they took one of the fox, Nari. They took the fox and cut the neck of this fox, and blood was coming. So they took that, what you call is the animal, and threw in the circle center. And the fox was, you know that, right? What you call beating up and down, when that was happening. So when Rasikananda Prabhu saw this, he felt so much compassion in his heart towards this fox. And he saw the people there, the Mohammedans there, and he saw this fox. So he saw, the only way that he can help this fox is to chant Hare Krishna. So all the devotees were there, they all of them tumultuously, roaringly, they lifted their hands and chanted Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. As soon as this chanting happened, all the blood which was there, it went inside the body of the fox. The head which was cut again got rejoined to the fox. And now, that blood got in touch with the holy name of Krishna. When it went inside, it created ecstatic love in the body of this fox. And, he awake and he saw, all devotees are there around me. And again, that fox also raised its both hands and chanted with all the devotees, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Seeing this Mohammedans got shocked. What has happened in front of our eyes? That which we have never seen. My God, we have done such a offense towards this Rasikananda Prabhu. They all went, fell at the feet of Rasikananda Prabhu and begged forgiveness and asked for instructions. And Rasikananda Prabhu said, please chant minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra every day. Follow 4 regulative principles and if possible do all the 64 regulative principles that are given by our Acharyas in the Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So he gave them and all of them became devotees. And when all of them became devotees and received especially the holy name from Rasikananda Prabhu, they also went into ecstasy and they made circles wearing all the topi dress. They were doing circle dancing there. And if you know, Rasikananda Prabhu, once one mad elephant was sent to attack Rasikananda Prabhu by one of the, because he was not worshipping Lord Shiva. He was worshipping somebody else. So, what you call the elephant was so maddened, it was so big, it was running and coming to attack Rasikananda Prabhu. So, when it was coming to attack Rasikananda Prabhu did not move an inch from there. Rather, he was chanting Hare Krishna mantra. And when the elephant came closer, he was watching, eye into eye of the elephant. As soon as the elephant came nearby, Rasikananda Prabhu touched the elephant. As soon as he touched the elephant, what happened again? The mercy, the arrow. Lord Ram left, right, that arrow. So same thing, Rasikananda Prabhu also left the arrow into the heart of this elephant. Just like he left the arrow into the heart of that fox and the heart of Mohammedans. So when the arrow, went inside, the elephant became ecstatic. And he said, oh my God, what am I doing? I am trying to crush Rasikananda Prabhu. So he begged forgiveness from Rasikananda. So, right, when elephant, kneels down. And the king got surprised. And not only that, the elephant begged for initiation from Rasikananda Prabhu. And our Rasikananda Prabhu goes, catches the ear of the elephant and initiates him in the line of Brahma Modha Gaudiya Sampradaya and gives him the name as Gopal Das. And that elephant became Gopal Das. And he became a devotee from them. Actually, even now also, if you go, just in 1900s, there was a tiger in the Barsana hill under one, devotee. And it used to go every day to house with a joli in his neck. And it will tap, to the door of the devotees and it will roar. And they will see first, what has happened. Then they will see the jola, okay. Babaji's lion has come, tiger has come, and they will put front. And it will go like this, collect all the madhukari and go to the Baba and gives back the, prasad to him. He cooks, he eats and gives the Mahaprasad to this tiger and it is happy chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So, we may underestimate the power of holy name. But I tell you, one of the Maharajas was doing kirtan on the floor near the hospital. And the kirtan was happening, the sound, right? When we do kirtan, people get disturbed somewhere, sometimes, nearby. That is good sometimes, it's good actually. They get to know Hare Krishna actually. Actually, Guru Maharaj was telling, people just by chanting Hare Krishna, they are liberated. So what as we devotees should do is, we have to rise them from liberation level to love of God. That's why we preach. Although they are liberated. Maharaj was telling, like, my God, the purpose is too high, expected from us. What happened is, this lady was going on, but she was hearing the kirtan sound coming. Hare Krishna. So she was here. Where is this? So she followed the sound, climbed, and came to the 6th floor and sat in the kirtan. And hearing the holy name, she became so enlivened that, how amazing is this? And within months, she got initiated from, that Maharaj and engaged in. So how? Holy name. So that's why what we call is, nowadays when we call devotees Prabhus, let us go for Harinam Sankirtan. Prabhus, let us do some preaching. We tell Prabhuji, my thoda ye hai, wo hai, we feel that. Actually, we have to come out of that state. If we are not doing, actually we are doing disgrace to the parampara. If we don't carry forward that, the mission, the mood and mission of the parampara to give the holy name to the others. If we don't do that, actually, we are doing disgrace to the parampara. It may be bit strong, but we need to understand. So every opportunity that, what you call hits our door for an opportunity to make people chant Hare Krishna. And that's why it is said, even Udila Aruna, we have to loudly make them Hare Krishna. When we see new people, what we should tell? Hare Krishna. So then, what happened? They will see, and they will also tell Hare Krishna. If you tell Hare Krishna, sound only does not come. Do you think it is going to awaken? No. Mukunda Yadava Bolo Hari, Vadana Bolo Re, Bolana Boli. Vadana Bola means loudly we should chant. So then, people be Hare. In this person's body, there is some life. That's why he is chanting loudly. So that should be there as well. So, Prabhupada was so merciful. He carried, this weapon. He carried this mantra all the way to America and shot, whomever was there, people who were shooting, shooting the arrow of the holy name. And in that, Times Square Park, so many devotees, His Grace Sankarshan. I have a lot of videos, to show their experiences, telling, how, they got touched by this pure sound vibration. So, we need to practice nicely. As much we develop this faith in the holy name, that much, when we chant this holy name, it's going to affect the hearts of the people as such. And whole life, just an homework I'm giving, if you can read purport 4.29.1b and 4.29.68. Very nicely Prabhupada, is telling 4.29.68, 4.29.1b. The purport comes. So beautifully Prabhupada is explaining, that kind of attitude. Actually, Prabhupada, if you see the whole life, it can just inspire us like anything, to dedicate our life for the holy name as such. So, we having this intent and mood and mission, carry or have faith in the holy name to chant and make others chant and making our life successful. So, let us all pray on this auspicious occasion of, Ramchandra Vijayotsava, that Lord Ram bestows us with such faith in His holy name, so that we also get affected. First is Janma Sarthaka Kari, and side by side also do Paropakar. Not first Janma Sarthakali complete, then I'll do. No. We do, and at the same time engage in the same thing. So we pray to the holy name also to give that kind of faith in us, where we can become purified from these tendencies of lust, anger, greed of this Ravana, and also do carry forward the mood and mission of the parampara by chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Nitai Chaitanya ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Please forgive for taking extra time for us. Hare Krishna. Duties can proceed for Prasadam. Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We will thank His Grace VrajVijay Achyuta Prabhu